Go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Chuck one up for the good guys. Stop the bleeding. Jaguars a winner yesterday in a thriller. One of the most exciting football games I think I have ever seen. 3-0 at half. And yet the Jaguars just found a way to really steamroll in that fourth quarter. Something about Mac Jones late in the fourth quarter. 3 touchdowns and a field goal in his last 2 games. We all know that it's custom. The Jaguars are asleep in the first half. They're freaking in a coma in the first half. But they did wake up when it mattered most to knock off the hated rival and the Tennessee Titans. It ends a 5-game losing streak, which was vitally important, I think, just for the sanity of the city. It also snaps a 16-game losing streak when they were trailing at half. Again, Tennessee went into the halftime with a big lead, 3-0 over Jacksonville. But they found their way. They came back, and they won a football game. And now, all of a sudden, you got a month to go. You got 4 games left. Very winnable football games, right? Jets come up this weekend. The Jets haven't won in Miami since 2014. I mean, think about Indianapolis not being able to win here in Duval. The Jets and the Dolphins in a league where the only thing that is lacking is great rivalries. The Jets and the Dolphins go way back. Back to the old divisions when the Baltimore Colts were in it with the Patriots and the Buffalo Bills and what have you. I mean, think about that. They haven't won since 2014. I actually watched that game. The Jaguars game ended really quickly because most teams just tried to run. There was, I think 3 combined penalties in the first half. They didn't use all 6 of their timeouts. They get a little lengthy early in the third quarter when flags began to fly. But when it's a low-scoring game and there's a lot of punts and you're trying to get it done on the ground, in Jacksonville, I thought abandoned that a little bit too quickly. We remember last week that Washington ran for 276 yards against the Tennessee Titans. Jacksonville, 10 carries, 9 yards in the first half. But they stayed with Tank Bigsby, who got the bulk of them. 18 and was said and done. And, of course, did have that game-winning touchdown, which was very late in the fourth quarter. But now it's the Jets. And the Jets are at 3-10. There's a log jam there with Jacksonville, New England, Carolina, Tennessee, Cleveland. And all of a sudden, this becomes the biggest talking point around the NFL, and that includes the Jacksonville Jaguars. The schedule now is soft. It's something that we have talked about all season long. When I gave you my preseason prognostication, I thought they would win 5 of their last 6. I thought their only blemish would be against the New York Jets. I kind of had them forecasted to really battle Buffalo this year within the division, but we know it's been a lost season. They've already said goodbye to Robert Saleh. They've already said goodbye to Joe Douglas, their head coach and general manager, respectively. What do they have to play for? They got to take a trip out here with Aaron Rodgers, where it really feels like the end is near. Rodgers threw his first 300-plus yard game dating all the way back to 2021. But again, it was not enough for New York to win against the Miami Dolphins. So New York comes in, they're 7th as far as the NFL draft order. All of you out there aware of the fact that with the victory yesterday, Jacksonville went from the top overall pick in the NFL draft to now selecting number 5. Well, after the Jets, you also have 2 other teams who are in the top 6. You have the Raiders, who now will draft number 1 with a record of 2-1. You got to go out there and play a couple of days before Christmas. Obviously, a very lengthy trip out west. You also have the rematch with the Titans. This one will be right here in Jacksonville. Currently, Tennessee moves one spot behind Jacksonville with a record of 3-10, but that whole strength of schedule component, Jacksonville slightly above them at .489 to Tennessee's .509. Oh, that will obviously change here in the next month. But, that's all of a sudden where things are. And this is why I hate it so much for you. Okay? This is the worst part of it for you, a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, is that this year's team, they gave you nothing. Okay? They came right out of the gate and they dropped a 0-4 on you. So all of the preseason hype, all of the expectations, everything that you fought through, the months of February, March, April, then the dog days of, May, June, and July. And then we're out at the Miller Electric Center. Camp gets underway. I thought it was a very good training camp for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I did. I thought they worked hard, thought they practiced hard. For the most part, they stayed relatively healthy, except for free agents that they signed. They were all beaten up, right? Armstead, Savage, Gabe Davis, whatever. But it felt good. And, my job is to see what I see and then talk about it. I gave you good reports. This team is on. Year 3, Peterson, Trevor. Year 3, the skill position guys. A turnover defensively, but a guy who totally fooled me in Ryan Nielsen. I took it. Hook, line, and sinker. All right? I will never run away from that. He had me fooled. I thought we're going to see some creativity. I thought we're going to see some Jerry Jones blitzes, like we finally saw yesterday for his first NFL sack. I thought it was going to be a defense that was unpredictable, a defense that was attacking for a lot of different directions, but it ended up being very vanilla, very predictable, very Todd Wash-like, very Mike Caldwell-like. Some of that was due to some injuries, and we kept hearing, they can't play man-to-man, they're playing more zone. But also for a team that was among league leaders as far as blitzes a year ago, in man coverage a year ago in Atlanta, we saw very little blitzing. And we didn't see as nearly man-to-man. So you were fooled. Before you wake up, it's the end of September, and you're 0-4. Your season's shot, right? They win a couple of games, they get the 2-5, and then they lose 5 straight. Before you know it, it's 2-10. So my point on all of this is, even if they end up 7-10, or if they end up 6-11, you got nothing. You got absolutely nothing out of this trip. You went to a exotic island for a week, and it rained the entire time. The Jaguars crapped on you from day one. They dropped the 0-4. They took away all of your excitement and just ruined your season. Now, as expected, they can win these next 4 games. If they win these next 4 games, they go 7-10, and they do 2 things. Number 1, they fall massively in the NFL draft. Okay? If they win another 2 games, they're probably going to draft 8 or 9. If they win another 3 games, that's going to go double digits. If they win all 4 of these games and end up at 7-10 in what is an absolutely meaningless year, they're going to draft in the teens. So you now get the worst of both worlds. We never talk about that. We talk about the best of both. You're going to get the worst. Because once again, for the 3rd time, I'm going to say it, you couldn't enjoy this for 1 week. The Jaguars said to you, watch this. Before you know it, we're going to be 0-4. We're going to just ruin your entire season as fans. Now, you've got an owner that we just don't know. I think he still is going to employ Trent Baalke. Baalke all of a sudden has got a lot of ammunition. Hey, I drafted Tank Bigsby. Hey, I drafted Ventrell Miller. Hey, I drafted Jerry Jones. Hey, I drafted Brian Thomas Jr. Hey, I went out and made a trade for a backup quarterback and Mac Jones. I went out and used the late round selection for Parker Washington. Hey, all of a sudden, Baalke to a guy who doesn't really know anything about football when you talk about Shad Khan, right? Doesn't really know, doesn't really understand. He's not a football guy, but he listens to only a very small percentage of human beings. He listens to Trent Baalke. And Baalke says, let's blow out Peterson. Let's blow out this staff. We're close. Mason Smith played, I think it was the most snaps that he's had all year yesterday. Made a couple of plays. There's all of a sudden material. There's evidence that supports Trent Baalke. If you don't know anything about it, and you just kind of coast throughout the league, and all of a sudden you look at Jacksonville in a month and you say, all right, they really struggled, but they put it on at the end. They end up going 7-10. Trevor was hurt. Christian Kirk was hurt. Cam Robinson walked his way out of town. You know, whatever it may be. There is a little bit of an identity there, even though you know and I know this thing is freaking broken. This thing is destroyed. But that's what's alarming. And that is going to prevent some people from actually enjoying the holidays. You do not know. Yesterday on Twitter and or X, and I love it because if I could do this as a talk show host, it would be absolutely spectacular. It's what you want to do, anyone in this business. But somehow yesterday on social media, I had half the people out there believing that I wanted them to win a game, all right? I had the other half of the people out there believing that I wanted them to lose so they could blow this thing up and get a best overall draft pick coming up in 136 days. That's brilliant in my profession. If you're able to do that, there's only a few times where that may actually present itself yearly. That was the case yesterday. Love to be able to continue that today. What in the hell do you want? I mean, you just can't sit back and say lose, 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 lose. Can you? Are you okay with that? I feel as though knocking off Tennessee was good for the city. It was good for the fan base. You've lost 5 in a row. It's been a lost year. You knocked off a rival. It feels good. But now all of a sudden, it's like, shake me, right? Beating the New York Jets does nothing. Do you think beating the New York Jets with Mac Jones is all of a sudden going to develop a little bit of momentum for the 2025 season? Do you think beating the Las Vegas Raiders is all of a sudden going to turn the morale around for when they play football again in 9 months? No. You're best off losing these 4 games. You're best off going 3-14. But a lot of people don't believe it. You know, a lot of people don't look at it that way. They say, hell no. I've spent a lot of money on tickets. I'm going to go to the Jets game. I'm going to go to the Titans game. The Vegas game is 2 days before Christmas. I'm going to be with family. Maybe your family's scattered across the country. They're going to school, whatever it may be. They're back home. You get an opportunity to watch a Jaguars game, maybe for the first time this year with your son or daughter who's away at school. You want them to win, right? When you win, you smile, you eat, you drink, you have a blast, right? You kiss babies, you slap backs. I mean, everything's great. Yet, you really should want to lose. So that is why this, once again, is so freaking sideways. It's so dysfunctional. You don't even know how to act as a fan. And you can point out the Giants and the Patriots and the Panthers and the Titans and the Jets and the Browns and the Bears and the Bengals who play tonight. Well, guess what? They're not in a position where they're going to draft 3 times with the top overall pick in the last 5 years. They're not in a position where they're going to finish dead last in the AFC South 5 out of the last 7 years. You're tired of it. You don't want to lose anymore. You want to win. But this organization crapped on you. They gave you no they didn't even give you a half of football for hope. I mean, they just crashed right on your party in week 1. They went 0-4. to begin the year. And that's the thing. I mean, all these other organizations, whether it's college or pro, you at least at one point thought maybe, just maybe, there'll be a little something to smile about this year. Not this team. They got it out of the way from day one. They just said there will be no cheering this year for you Jaguar fans. That is absolutely not going to be allowed. And now if you want to cheer, it's like you're cheering for what could end up really being far worse for the future of this team. What if they win these games and Shad Khan says, Trent Baalke, you're staying. You're still our guy. What if that happens? It very easily could happen. Mac Jones, 7-play, 81-yard drive. He engineered it. He authored it. Yeah, he was like Hemingway, all right, a sober Hemingway. He was like Hunter S. Thompson. All right, I like to say he was sober, but that was never the deal during his gonzo journalism years. He was like John Grisham. He was. I mean, it was perfect, right? 4 passes to Brian Thomas Jr., 2 runs by ETN. Then it's Tank Bigsby from 6 yards out. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Why don't they start that way? Why don't they run the Charles Manson offense? Let's call it helter-skelter. Why don't they just come out and be skittish? Why don't they just come out in a no-huddle and run it? This football team is so underprepared. Their scripted plays suck. Every single week, they cannot do anything on offense. This team averages 2.3 points in the first quarter and dropped another goose egg on you yesterday. Why not just come out and run their helter-skelter? Why not just come out and have him call plays at the line of scrimmage? They're a much better football team when they're not being coached. They're a much better offensive football team when they play street ball. It's evident. We saw it 2 weeks ago in the fourth quarter with those 2 late touchdown drives by Mac Jones, and we saw it yesterday with the field goal, and then that 7-play, 81-yard drive that resulted in the game-winning touchdown. Again, more frustration for you as a Jags fan. What a terrible coaching staff. I mean, what an absolutely awful coaching staff. They have now gone 27 consecutive opening drives without scoring a touchdown. 27. This happens every single Sunday. It's not a once-in-a-while blemish. It's not this. It happens every single Sunday. This team is not ready to play football. What does Doug Peterson, what does Prestel, what does this football team do offensively to have them so not ready to play a game? I've never seen anything like it, college or pro. Run the freaking helter-skelter, man. Just come on out as if you're down and it's a hurry-up offense. It is absolutely beyond mystifying. And it just reeks of terrible coaching. Yet you as the fan, you just have to sit there and take it. You can't do anything about it. Right? You have to take it. How do you make a statement? How are you heard? How does the needle move? It doesn't. Deal with it. Okay? Seriously, deal with it. This is what you have. It's going to be the same thing against the New York Jets, which maybe is a good thing. If you subscribe to the theory, as you should, that they lose that game. I wanted them to beat Tennessee because I wanted to see some smiles on some faces, because that's a rival. Hey, I was at the Jets playoff loss in 1998. You're going to try to, that was in the Meadowlands. You're going to try to tell me the Jets and the Jags are a rivalry? They're not. They're not even close to being a rivalry. All right? The Jets winning this game is best case scenario for your Jaguars. But whether it's a win or lose, you and I both know, play the under in the first quarter, play the under in the first half. This team will come out once again in a coma and do absolutely nothing for the first 15 minutes of football. I mean, it's almost to the point that when they fire this offensive staff, you got to wonder if any of these coaches are going to be able to find work again. That's how bad it is on that side of the football. All right, opening comments tonight are brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Family organization. They focus on personal, high-quality medical and surgical eye care, laser eye surgery. It's getting dark out, right? How are the eyes? How are the eyes now at a few minutes past 6 o'clock compared to what they were like at 6 a.m. this morning? Weaker, right? Fatigue is set in. Well, laser eye surgery would give you 20/20 for the rest of your days. Imagine what that would be like. Dr. Neil Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, combined, that's more than 30 years of experience when you talk about laser eye surgery. There's far more significant things, right? What if you have a cataract issue, which is so common now? First of all, there may be a remedy. It may be able to be prevented without surgery. If you need surgery, guess what? They're going to sit, they're going to talk to you, they're going to answer all your questions, and they're going to perform the surgery. They've been doing it for 30-plus years. They did surgery on my right eye 8.5 years ago, and I've never had a setback. I want you to check them out. Just go to Shmunez Vision online. You can also get all of the testimonials on Instagram at Shmunez Vision. Jaguar fans, you are between a rock and a hard place, and I hate to be the one to say it, but you can't have it both ways. You got to pick. What do you want here? Lose these 4 games and blow up this organization? Or win 2, 3, dare I say all 4 of them, and Trent Baalke remains your general manager? These are the questions that you are going to have to answer. We got a lot to do right here in the Monday edition. When we come back, we're going to hear from Doug Peterson. We're going to hear from J.J. LaSelva. We're going to hear from you. Always the best way to join us is our text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Good drives bring more points. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville brings you the drive of the game.
Great job.
On 1010XL. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Have you heard? Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are aiming to sell 1,000 vehicles this December. How? I've told my team to take all reasonable offers. We won't lose your business over price. With thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs on the ground, all priced to sell, we guarantee the most money for your trade and the easiest car buying experience ever. I promise we ain't leaving nothing on the table. This is the absolute last weekend. Visit Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. We're here to wow you.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Best Bet is number 1. That's right. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine have one-card poker, the fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war, just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. Learn all the games at bestbetjax.com. That's bestbetjax.com.
My name's Jim. I'm 53 years old. There should be options in life, like ways to lose weight. Medications now feel like the only option. I mean, it sounds like a guarantee. I do have friends who have lost weight with them. I tried holding off. I did other diets, but I was miserable. I'd rather be fat and happy. The problem was I wasn't happy fat. I was about to start the meds, but then I heard of Awaken 180's GLP-1 program. Turned out it does the same thing as the meds without injecting myself for life. It absolutely worked. I dropped 45 pounds. I'm now in maintenance, and I feel better than my friends who are still on the meds. Listen, I barely know what GLP-1 is. What I do know is Awaken 180 worked for me, and I was far from miserable doing it.
Thanks, Jim. You all know our success with Awaken 180, and now with Awaken 180's GLP-1 Balance, you address the root causes of weight issues. Do it naturally, then keep it off. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Start your week by talking teal with Tony. Hall of Fame Monday with Tony Baselli. Monday mornings at 7:20 with Dan and Jeff on the drill. Brought to you by Heritage Roofing of North Florida. Hall of Fame Quality Roofing Solutions on 1010XL.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
The Sawgrass Marriott Golf Resort and Spa is the perfect place for indulging in a pampering spa treatment. This holiday season, give the gift of wellness with a gift card and take advantage of the spa's current promotion. With the purchase of a $75 gift card or more, guests get a credit towards a future service. With healing massages, revitalizing facial treatments, and more, a day at the Sawgrass Spa makes the perfect gift. Purchase in person at Sawgrass Spa during operating hours.
AC replacement? If your AC unit is ready to go kaput, then it's time to call Florida Home AC. With over $3,000 in tax credits waiting for you on select systems, take advantage of it. Call 777-4300. Get Florida Home AC to cool you off.
Help fight skin cancer by playing golf at the Hit 'em Straight Golf Tournament December 30th at Queens Harbor for a day of food and fun while raising money for the Melanoma Research Foundation. To sign up, call 904-507-1401.
You've got a circle of friends, right? Well, how about a circle of beer? All your favorites like Bud Light, Bud Heavy, Mick Ultra, or Natty Light. It's all there in the cold case at Circle K. Probably one right around the corner right now calling your name. Slide on in to a Circle K.
Are you a member of the Ran Out of Room Club? Maybe it's a boat, RV, or cars. Maybe it's office space. A luxury storage unit at the Shed is your solution. Opening soon in Atlanta Beach. AC and plumbing available and spots filling fast. Don't join the Ran Out of Time Club. Go to theshedjags.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
To the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide. We'll stop and a turn and a go for a ride. Till I get to the bottom and I see you again.
Into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Don't you want me to love you?
Diagram those damn plays in the dirt.
Coming down fast, but I'm miles above you.
Forget about scripting plays. They don't work.
Tell me.
Run it. Run the helter-skelter. The Charlie Manson offense. Crying out loud. Have a little bit of respect for your job. I mean, every single week, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. It doesn't matter who's who. 3 targets, no completions to Brian Thomas Jr. in the first half. Look at that one drive. Mac Jones calls the plays himself. Look at this. This is the drive of the year for the Jaguars. Brian Thomas, 21 yards from Mac Jones. The no-huddle shotgun, the handoff to ETN. He'll pick up 11. They go back to the no huddle. Shotgun. ETN up the middle, picks up a yard. Just stifling Tennessee rushing defense. Hey, Joe, they gave up 276 yards last week. That notwithstanding. No huddle. Shotgun. Mac Jones. Brian Thomas picks up 5. Shotgun. Mac Jones. Brian Thomas picks up 12. Actually, picks up 31 to the Tennessee 12. No huddle. Shotgun. Tank Bigsby, left guard, picks up 4 yards. Tank Bigsby off the left tackle from the shotgun. Touchdown. 7 plays, 81 yards, no huddle, hurry up, helter skelter, no coaches involved offense. That is what they do. Can you imagine, as we bring in J.J. LaSalva, the amount of coffee and tobacco they go through, Press Taylor and Doug Peterson, as they put together those 15 scripted plays, maybe as early as Wednesday night, getting ready for the contest on Sunday?
At this point, would you say 27 straight games with no touchdown on the first drive? You just got to be like, we're not doing the script anymore. Like, we're not practicing the script. Screw it. We'll just decide on game day when it's happening what we're going to. Yeah, the biggest play of the game was that 3rd and 4 down the sideline to Brian Thomas,
yes,
which was a broken play. You know, he wanted to go to somebody on the right. He pump faked, ran out of the pocket, and Brian Thomas, being a smart guy, just booked it away from the cornerback and ran down the sideline. That's how he got open. Like, the original play that was drawn up wasn't what worked for the Jaguars in that particular play. But quick shout out to the other offense. And we talked about this guy a lot last week. Calvin Ridley, to me, the funniest play of the day.
Oh, that was hilarious.
In a game full of funny plays.
And people like momentum took him out of bounds.
Right.
No way. He could have stopped. These wide receivers can stop on a dime and cut it upfield.
Exactly. So if you don't remember, you weren't watching, God bless you. But it's maybe 3rd and 5 or something, and they're in the red zone at the 10-yard line. They could have picked up the first. This was the drive where they had to throw it in the end zone on 4th down and didn't get it. So the second to last drive, really the last one where they had an opportunity to win. Yeah, Calvin Ridley catches the ball with maybe 3 yards to get. And instead of turning upfield, he just runs straight out of bounds. And then this is why I know momentum didn't take him out of bounds, because right after he did it, he stopped and looked over and was like, damn, I screwed that one up.
He shook his head.
Yeah.
He knew he had made a major mistake.
And that's what he did here constantly, just low IQ plays, just forgetting the play or running the wrong route, or just classic Ridley right there, and it made me laugh.
Unforgivable mistake by him. And again, I'm surprised so many people out there are like, oh, no, the momentum took him out of bounds. First of all, Will Levis should have thrown the ball earlier.
Correct.
Because Wrigley was wide open. But Levis is a bad quarterback. And he threw it late, but Wrigley should have had the veteran knowledge to understand you cut that up and pick up the first down. And if so, Tennessee probably wins that game. They did not. If you remember, the very next play was corner of the end zone, which resulted in an incomplete pass. All right, tonight's show brought to you by the good folks over at Miller Electric Company. And right now, folks, they're hiring. Okay, if you're looking for your next big opportunity, Miller Electric's been around for 96 years. They continuously are noted as one of the great places to work right here in Jacksonville. And they tackle the biggest projects in the city. They're going to be offering you, if you decide to join them, a chance to showcase your skills on the grand scale. They believe in rewarding hard work, and with top pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about one another. Just go to Miller Careers for all of the information. That is Miller Careers. Again, they are hiring. Whether you're an electrician or you want to be an electrician, go ahead and check them out at Miller Careers. The text line's like 50-50 here. those who wanted this team to lose, it's a loser's mentality, yada, yada, yada. I'm wanting the Jaguars to deprive us of value of. I mean, it's just going back and forth. It's about 50%. I hate that we're here with this with 4 weeks to go. But, again, this is what this team did to you. This team has done that to you as a fan base. And, yeah, I think there was a time when you knew they were awful. The Trevor draft, the Trayvon draft, where that was just bad football. That was a bad team. That was a mismanaged team. That was a club that did not have talent, and you knew you needed the complete rebuild. And obviously everyone wanted to lose that year because you wanted the top pick. You wanted Trevor Lawrence. This team is different, okay? There's talent on this team. There's awful coaching within the organization. That's the biggest problem. Okay, we just talked about what this team does to you now going on almost 2 complete years of not being ready to play offensively in the first quarter. 2 years worth, okay? They do not score touchdowns. They're not ready. And if you've ever watched a pregame, the preparation is there physically, okay? They have stretched. They have gone through their individual drills. They have gone through the team drills. They're ready to play. This is their profession. This is why they make the amount of money that they do. They're ready to go. They are not coached. Why do I believe that Shad Khan has no clue at all that this team has gone nearly 2 consecutive years without scoring a touchdown in their opening drive? Why do I believe that? You think Trent Baalke's going to tell him that? You think Tony Khan's going to tell him that? It's another reason that there needs to be a liaison. Someone in the building who can get to them from both sides, including the owner, and say, listen, this is a problem. You can't win in this league when you're always trailing. You can't win in this league when you average 2.3 points a game in the first quarter. I mean, think about that. Home and away, Thursday, Sunday, Monday, East Coast, West Coast, London, home and away. It doesn't matter. This team doesn't score. They're always asked to come from behind. It's coaching. It's coaching. Have to blow it up. Blow the whole thing up. No survivors. Blow it all up. You got to get rid of the stink. They're too comfortable with losing. There's nothing that bothers me more. I'm loving what I'm seeing in Tallahassee because every time I go to my phone, another kid is transferring out of Florida State. Get rid of the stink. Get rid of them all. There's no sacred cows in God's country. Outside of Luke Kromenhoek and those 2 tight ends, they can all leave. I'm talking about kids who have played. Take them all. Okay? They're satisfied with losing. They don't do enough to overcome. It's the same thing here. But you know what the difference is here, in my opinion? Actually, they're both, there's a combination. It's bad coaching. This organization deserves great coaching. This organization deserves spectacular coaching. You got an owner that will open up his wallet. You have an owner that has never said no to a football-related issue when it involves cash. They don't put money aside. They don't save. No, they spend. Trent Baalke spends. If it costs $10 million to get a guy, and you're battling with another team and it takes $12 million to get him, Shad Khan will pay it. Unfortunately, Shad doesn't know a great deal about football. Okay, he just doesn't. And we don't know who he relies on, who he bounces things off. Got to make massive changes, man. And you've already had 3 firings. You're probably going to have another 4 or 5. So you're not in this alone. And, trying to get ahead of it, you learn from your previous mistakes. Jacksonville didn't get ahead of it when they fired Urban Meyer. I mean, that was the biggest example of this Mickey Mouse organization. They brought in Peterson and Jim Caldwell right out of the gate, and I was like, this is pretty cool. They're going to get this damn thing done soon, aren't they? And they let 5 weeks go by. Oh, we're talking about Nate Hackett. How dare you bring Nate Hackett in after he sat on the ball in the 2018 AFC Championship game with the most predictable offense in the history of mankind? It makes what Press Taylor and Doug Peterson has done in 27 consecutive games now look good. That's what Nate Hackett did in New England. Oh, let's bring in him. Matt Eberflus settled on Peterson. I said it all along. I never felt that Trent Baalke wanted Doug Peterson. They're at odds now. But isn't that another feather in the cap of Trent? Hey, Shad, I told you. We never should have hired Doug Peterson. It appears now he's right. Even though Peterson's checked out, when you can't score in the first quarter, he's checked out. I mean, even a blind squirrel every once. I mean, how can you go that many? I know I'm a stickler on this, but it pisses me off. It's their full-time job. How can they be so This team got absolutely gashed by Washington on the ground last week. And Jacksonville came out and could not run the ball. 9 carries, 10 yards, or 10 carries, 9 yards. Whichever way, it was one or the other. Really doesn't matter, right? I feel for you people. I wish I had the answers. It would start by grabbing John Deere and just taking a bulldozer to it. That would be my starting point. Then after that, good luck. Good luck. You've got to put an executive in the building. Whether it's Tony Baselli, whether it's Fred Taylor, whether it's Paul Posluszny, I don't know. You've got to put an executive in this building. Spend the money. Get someone that the people like. Get someone that has enough smarts to not allow Trent Baalke to go 18 days after the close of the season before he talks to the media. To not allow Doug Peterson to say, well, I need a night or so to think about what I'm going to do with staff changes, and 2 hours later, they're fired. I mean, it's a Mickey Mouse operation, folks. You got to fix it. It starts at the top. Bring in someone who is identified as a Jaguar, someone who hurts like you hurt when they lose. Not someone who you're paying a nice buck to, who comes from another organization and knows that he's hired to be fired. Bring in one of your own. Put a little bit of sweat into it where you know that those losses. Now, the losses hurt Peterson and Baalke because their jobs are on the line. And I'm not saying hire a coach with Jaguar experience. That's different. You got to get the best possible coach that you can. But you need an executive vice president or whatever glorified title you want to give them, president of football operations. You've got to make that hire. You have to. You need someone of the respectability who can scare, who is also a good man, a good guy, who doesn't turn his back to issues that need to be addressed, where there's enough respect where he can go to Shad and he can go to the general manager and he can go to the head coach. He can go to the public relations staff. He can go to anyone in the building. He can go to Mark Lamping and say, listen, this isn't working. They've never had that. I'd love to say go look through media guides, but I guess they're online now. You really want to laugh about something? Go look at successful franchises. Look at the amount of personnel in front offices, and then look at Jacksonville. Everything I said about Shad Khan opening up the wallet and spending and spending and spending when it comes to football-related issues, you look at the front office staff, that is where they cut corners. That is where they save cash. And what do you have? A team that is trying to fight their way out of the AFC cellar for the 5th time in 7 years. A losing organization. Okay? They need more in the front office. You need more eyes. You need more opinions. You need more people to bring their expertise to the decisions that this franchise has to make. Look at Detroit's front office. Look at Baltimore's front office. Look at Pittsburgh. I mean, Belichick was separate. He had his guys, though. He absolutely had his guys. And then look at this organization. And who does Trent Baalke talk to? Dave Caldwell talked to everyone. Okay? I mean, didn't necessarily help him out, but he talked to everyone. And he'd listen. And he'd converse. He'd go back and forth. Let's take a break. Why don't we do that? Someone says Donovan Darius. Anyone. Someone that the fans can appreciate. You know, there's way too much of turning the page around here. The game's over. You're in the 70th row. You're crying in your beer. You got to turn around now and go home to your wife who's been driving you crazy. You know the mother-in-law is coming in. All you want is a Jaguars win. That's all you want. You got to get up Monday morning and go to a job where you're not I mean, this is your diversion. This is what you live for. You want the Jaguars to be relevant. You want the and this organization. We're not even going to let you get out of the month of September. We're going to drop a 0-4 on you to get things started. I mean, I hate it for you. Losing for me is actually pretty good. Losing in the world of sports talk radio is pretty good. You think I like it? I do it every year. I'm tired of it. I wish this team was winning. I wish we were talking about playoff seedings. I wish we were talking about home and away. Do you get a bye? I mean, do you think I like coming in here every single day talking about just how much of a laughingstock this organization is? I don't. I mean, every once in a while would be nice because it's good for radio, but not on a yearly basis. Hell no. I feel for you. I always have. I always felt for the fans. And I don't know. I don't know what you do. If you're reaching for something, I hope you're not driving. That's the only thing I'm going to say. All right, we got much more to do. We'll take it till 8 o'clock. Hey, the Jaguars won. Isn't that great? They go to 3-10. Everything is great on this Monday in Duval.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Bet live with Hard Rock Bet. Real-time wagering till the very last play. Missing the kickoff doesn't mean all bets are off.
Delay a game on the guy who hasn't bet yet.
Sometimes you just know your team is going to come back. The sportsbook for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Andersen. Energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Right now, buy one window or patio door and get one 40% off. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. The first 50 customers get a free True Screen upgrade, but this offer expires December 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
Post-game Monday on 1010XL is brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff.
Hey, Florida drivers, the holiday season is upon us. When celebrating, always plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Besides, a DUI could cost you $10,000. Not exactly the best gift you could give yourself. Celebrate responsibly and remember to drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
When pests invade your space, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, we show up for you and eliminate pests quicker because we care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so do we. Don't live with a pest problem. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com. Terminix it.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 9, 2018, NFL quarterback Tom Brady breaks Peyton Manning's record for most touchdown passes in NFL history, recording 582.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
It's a sale so big, Santa wants to get in on it.
It's Beard's Diamonds' incredible 44th anniversary sale, held over till Christmas Eve. Everything store-wide is on sale, up to 44% off.
Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
How wide is the moon? The answer coming right up.
It's always a good idea to compare homeowners' insurance rates instead of renewing year in and year out. Log on to southernoak.com and get an instant quote in minutes.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The moon is roughly 2,100 miles wide, about a 3-day drive.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
This is Dr. Michael Iorio, internal medicine physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
As they have come few and far between this season, it's always nice to have a victory Monday every once in a while. A much-needed and well-deserved win for this team had the locker room fired up post-game. Listen in to Coach Peterson's victory speech after getting the job done up in Tennessee.
I told you, last night, I told you again today, you can't get to 5-0 unless you get to 1, okay? All right, so, hey, check the box. Check the box. We got to go back to work, though. We got another one coming next week. It just keeps rolling, okay? But I'm so proud of you guys for the way you work, the way you hang together, through highs, through lows, adversity, whatever it is, through injury. It takes every single one of us. So my hat's off to you. Great job.
I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, all week 6 to 8, back to our regular Friday night 6 to 8, plus Thursday. We're over at the Bricks. My goodness. And allow me out at the beach. That's going to be 6 to 8. Some guests coming up. Miller Lite, thank you. We'll have tickets. I have 2 hot tickets. Jaguars Jets tickets. You know the Jets are going to bring thousands and thousands and thousands with them. So hopefully we can give these away to a couple of Jaguar fans. And that'll be coming up on Thursday. I'll have more details. I did misrepresent. And I want to correct. I just went back to my tweet. It's 18 consecutive games that they have not scored on their first drive. Okay? I am going to do a little bit of research tomorrow before the show to get the correct figures. I want to say it's like 21 out of 22, 21 out of 23 or 22 out of 24. Something like whatever it is, it's awful. But I said 27. That's incorrect. Things are bad enough. I don't need to throw out faulty numbers. So apologies there. Is that, whether it's 27 or 18, am I somewhere in the middle of 18 to 27 as far as the amount of apologies that I've given this year on the radio show?
That one was very needed. I mean, I'm sure people were out there screaming at the radio. No, remember that game 2 years ago and they scored? Yeah.
No one actually corrected me, though. I actually went back and looked on my Twitter feed.
It's called being a journalist.
Yeah.
We do have some breaking news out of the college football world.
What do you have?
Since you are a Heisman voter, I guess it is relevant to this show. But the 4 Heisman finalist names that will be in New York this weekend have been released. Not really any surprises. Travis Hunter, the massive favorite right now to win. Ashton Genty from Boise State, who we saw this weekend. Cam Ward, of course, from Miami. And Dylan Gabriel, who we saw this weekend as well from Oregon.
Yeah.
Not really too much like, who's going to win.
Yeah, not much drama.
No drama.
Doesn't feel like it. But I want to add one thing, because I'm not supposed to talk at all about who I voted for and what the situation was. Just let me add this. This ended up being the most difficult Heisman Trophy decision that I've ever had to make. Because, I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to give anything else because it may give it away. But anyway.
Yeah, you don't exactly have, like, Alabama's quarterback.
No.
And, Texas's running back. It's a lot of schools that, for us over here on the East Coast, it's kind of harder to watch, especially Boise. But, Oregon usually, they used to play on like the Pac-12
Remember that whole
channel
West Coast bias outside of USC?
And now look, we got Colorado, Oregon, and Boise State.
Right.
Cam Ward, the only player representing the East Coast.
Yep. So 2 of those 4 didn't even play over the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. And 1 played on a Friday night on Fox. By the way, Cam
Which was
Ward,
a great game.
It was. The UNLV, they have a fun offense. A lot of people are hoping that, or they were hoping that Florida State would get the UNLV offensive coordinator. Obviously, it didn't happen. Quickly, I do want to give a shout out to Cam Ward, who apparently is playing in the Pop-Tart Bowl, which I was shocked by. I just assumed when Miami didn't go to the playoff that he's gone. There's no reason for him to play. He's going to be a first-round draft pick.
Right.
But he's coming back, which I love that. And I hope that sort of, we see more of that. We saw a couple weeks ago, Deion.
He's coming back next year?
No, to play in the bowl game.
Okay.
Yeah, the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yeah, I love what Deion said.
Yeah, and I think that might have started a trend. Like, Deion was like, none of my players are leaving. They signed up for all these games. They're going to play in all these games. And we've seen even before the season that Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders had like a friendly, they're obviously friends, but they have a rivalry between each other. And when Shedeur decided he was going to play, I was like, okay, maybe that opens the window. And yeah, we got Cam Ward on video yesterday saying he will be playing in the Pop-Tart Bowl, which I'm very excited about.
I am surprised because he's going to be a top 5 pick, and I understand sitting out if you're that highly regarded. On the flip side, what Florida State did a year ago proved nothing, okay? It was cowardly by Florida State to sit 28 guys. 28 players to say, I'm not going. They literally picked up their ball and said, I'm going home. And it created at the time, there was a feel sorry for Florida State, which ended up turning into Florida State becoming the most disliked team this past year in all of college football because of their constant crying and complaining and the fact that the team did not respond. They quit. They quit on Mike Norvell. They quit on their fans. They tried to prove a point, and it backfired. And Deion Sanders alluded to it without mentioning, FSU. It'll be interesting to see if this starts to bring back players who are not shoe-in, highly regarded first-round picks. That's different, and that's why the Ward thing and the Sanders thing are kind of exceptions to the rule because apparently they're going to play. But that was not good with what we saw a year ago when those Seminole players elected to do that. All right, even the great ones rest. That includes the good folks over at the Blue Crab House. Okay, they're off on Monday, but they're back at it tomorrow, 4:30 to 9, every Tuesday, $2 margaritas, $9 pitchers of margaritas, $1 steamed oysters on Wednesday. And remember this, as we move a day closer, the holidays upon us, if you're looking for an easy gift but an outstanding gift, how does this sound? You spend $50, you get a $65 gift card from the Blue Crab House. You spend $50, you get $65. Man, do the math. It's like Bitcoin. It's insane. All right, $50 gets you $65. It's only at the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose on Julington Creek Road. Let's get ready for hour number 2. We've got a ton in on the text line. Let's get to some of you this hour, 641-1010. Again, tomorrow night at this time at 7 o'clock, we're going to grab your phone calls. All right, that's part of our Tuesday plan. And so we'll do that. Also, maybe a little bit of college play. Coming up this hour. Haven't even talked about Juan Soto and his deal. Haven't talked about Dick Allen and Dave Parker going into the going into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Haven't talked about Kirby Smart calling out Greg Sankey right there at the podium. I mean, it was outstanding. Does anyone complain more than Kirby Smart? Maybe me here in Duval, but I'm complaining for you. I guess Kirby's complaining for the sake of his Georgia Bulldogs. And, yeah, let's take a look at the field. Those first 4 games, and, of course, we're all aware of the 4 teams that are getting a bye in our first ever 12-team college football playoff.
We Relive the best moments from the weekend's games.
That's what superstars do.
Post-game Monday. Expert analysis of Sunday's game all day. Brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL. Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
The young Cats were able to show that even in rainy conditions, they are able to weather the storm in clutch moments. Thanks to a 7-play sequence capped off by a Tank Bigsby touchdown, Jacksonville would take a 10-6 lead with 6:46 left in regulation. The 81-yard drive is your Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game.
Hey, John, I think everyone in Jacksonville is ready to elevate their ride.
Absolutely. At Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville, we have stunning 2024 Escalades and Lyrics in stock right now.
And the great news is you can get a $4,000 Escalade loyalty rebate.
Don't wait for the 2025 models to come in.
Luxury is just a visit away. Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
Not available with some other offers. Must take retail delivery by 10/31/24 plus tax tag title $8.99 admin fee and resist all. Unapproved credit.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Make a crucial catch against colon cancer. Hicken here for the Borland Groover Foundation. If you're 45 or older, the ball is in the red zone to get screened. The key to surviving colon cancer, early detection and prevention. 45 is the new 50. Get screened for colon cancer now. The Borland Groover Foundation is a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
Injured in an accident? Have mounting medical bills? Can't work? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan of Von Rowan Law. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve. Set up your free consultation at zachsgotyourback.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey. Here in North Florida, you know that when temperatures go up and your AC goes out, you need help now. Like right now. Like lickety-split. So why not call Lickety Split and get same-day emergency service for your AC? Now, I bet you've seen their trucks all over town because they've got dozens of certified technicians ready to repair not only your AC, but your home's plumbing and electrical too. So when you want it done right and you need it done right now, call Lickety Split, AC, Plumbing, and Electric.
Now, it's time to showcase the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Logan Cook was slicing and dicing over the weekend in the Music City. The teal and black punter recorded 198 yards on 4 punts, with as long as going 53 yards. Cook has been a master chef all season long and is your Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
Prosser here for Lifetime Flooring. You've heard us rave about Lifetime Enclosures. Now let's talk about Lifetime Flooring. I can tell you firsthand, the product, services, best in Jacksonville. As you know, updating your floors is one of the most dramatic changes you can make to your home. Call the experts at Lifetime Flooring now and ask about their buy one room, get one room free promotion through Christmas. 0% financing, available to meet any budget. Visit their beautiful showroom just off Phillips Highway. And as always, tell them Prosser sent you.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Homeowners, listen up. Did you know that 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? Hey, it's Prosser here, and the Fed has dropped the rates again. The election is over, and Loan Pronto has APRs in the low fives for refis, debt consolidation, and purchase loans. If your current mortgage rate is over 6%, or if you're in the process with another lender, don't settle. Call Loan Pronto now for a second opinion. Lock a lower rate today and close in as little as 2 weeks, often with no appraisal. And if you act now, you won't make your first payment till February. This 5-minute call saves homeowners an average of $5,000, lower rates and lower fees. So get your Loan Pronto rate quote instantly with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. It's Loan Pronto. Call them at 904-999-1508, or you can visit loanpronto.com. That's Loan Pronto at 904-999-1508, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, on approved credit, NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Hey, this is Bert Cannon with the First Coast YMCA. Youth sports at the Y can help nurture your future athlete's potential and experience the joy of being a kid. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, and fun environment with basketball, soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, elite skills training, and more. Best of all, participation in Legacy Youth Sports League is free with your family membership. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
Jacksonville Cougars. It's me, Soccer Sam from Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizzeria is now open in Jacksonville, Florida. Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. $10 daily deals, dine-in beer and wine, and delivery. Salvatores.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Yeah. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's New York Jets week. Very emotional week around here. Jets favored by 3. Will they play hard? Jacksonville played really hard on defense. This is their best defensive effort of the year. Only allowed 272 yards. They had 3 huge fourth down stops, 2 of which were inside their own 10-yard line. Andre Sisco was benched. They went with Antonio Johnson, who I thought played well. Haven't seen the PFF grade. Sisco, for what it's worth, had led the team in snaps. With 773 going into the game and had 45 consecutive starts. He's out, and he will not return. It has not been a good year. He made a nice play late in the game, Andre Sisco. But it's been a very down year for him. I thought Mason Smith played well. And, the only disappointment I have defensively about what I witnessed on Sunday was that Ventrell Miller only got 18 snaps. Not sure. Maybe they think he's hitting his rookie wall. We remember what happened last week when Buster Brown bounced back. He played a good game. But last week, Buster Brown was backpedaling when Robert Woods, cracked inside with a really nice block on Ventrell Miller, which allowed Joe Mixon to pick up that first down. I don't know if that's the case, but let me see here. I believe only 18 snaps for Ventrell Miller yesterday. I was a little bit disappointed by that. Aloakam was all over the place. He had 11 tackles. I thought Devin Lloyd played a pretty good football game as well. Devin Lloyd played 49 snaps yesterday. So let's see here. Aloakam 64. He played them all. Lloyd 49. And Ventrell Miller played 18. Just a couple of things here defensively. Again, a real good effort. They played good enough to win. Jarian Jones. And, all of a sudden, it feels like you got some talent. You got 2 rushers. I want to believe that Mason Smith's going to be something. I think he got 3 backers, at least for 1 more year. I don't know what they're going to do with Devin Lloyd. Does he become a guy that maybe they trade during the offseason? Right now, I don't think he has earned a future contract here as a first-round guy. You've got a corner and you've got a nickel. You've got Tyson Campbell. You've got Jarian Jones. You have no safeties at all. Matter of fact, let's get to Doug Peterson today because one of the safeties was Darnell Savage, who went out. Also, the latest on Evan Ingram. Here's what Doug Peterson said earlier today, injury-wise.
I haven't seen Anton. The players were just basically in for a lift and then out today.
we didn't meet with the players. Just illness from yesterday. Just woke up with it. We had a couple guys actually. D Ham was another one that we, was sick Saturday. Anton was a little bit sick and woke up in not too good of a shape, for the game obviously, and couldn't make it. But imagine he's feeling better today. Sav was fine today. Everybody. Evan's going to have a little bit of a shoulder in the game, but everybody else came out good.
It's a little unusual now. Consecutive weeks, no Monday meetings with the players. Form your own opinion there. I'd share mine with you, but I haven't been known to do that. Kidding. I do. I don't know what to make of it. Hey, I don't want to belabor this. I just want to make a quick point and then move on. How in the hell is Jeffrey Simmons the representative of the Walter Payton of the Year award in Tennessee? He beat the living snot out of a girl, and we watched it on video. How? And he's now been the guy 2 years in a row. Are you trying to tell me they can't find someone on that football team that hasn't beaten up a woman? Sometimes the NFL, it just makes you scratch a divot into your head. How can you I don't care if he walks on water. We saw it on film. Period. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But how? You want to respond? You can on the text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. It's just amazing to me. 2 years in a row. I know he gives out turkeys and does great, but it doesn't take away from what he did. We all saw the video. Is Bill Belichick really going to go to North Carolina? Can you believe this story?
I can, because I heard the stipulations involved, which was, hey, my son now becomes the coach in waiting. So, before we didn't know that. We're just seeing, wow, Bill Belichick took an interview and he's willing to coach at UNC. But now I get it more. I mean, we've seen in all forms of life, politics, sports, whatever, you want to do what's best for your son.
Broadcasting?
Yes, of course.
Pardon you? Pardon me? What?
Yes, exactly. But I just can't imagine it happening. Even with that, even if North Carolina says, yeah, after you retire in 2 or 3 years, your son can be the coach, I just still don't see Bill Belichick doing that with this little amount of wins left to break Shula's record. And he has to recruit. Like, why would he want to start recruiting as a 73-year-old man?
You cannot win at North Carolina. You win 7 or 8 games, but you can't win. So I don't know why he would take that job. It's a beautiful place to live. He's got like a 21-year-old girlfriend. Maybe that's where she wants to be.
Maybe she's in college there.
Steve Belichick, by the way, the defense coordinator at UW since leaving the New England Patriots. But, yeah, they're talking about Josh McDaniels. They're talking about Steve Belichick. It's a hell of a staff. It'd be a tremendous opportunity for any 18-year-old to go to school there. Again, it's the flagship of the ACC. It's a phenomenal place. Great school. But it's a basketball school. I still, and he doesn't need any leverage. But this still really surprises me when you look at some of the franchises that are going to be available. The only way that I could see that Bill Belichick takes this job with North Carolina is if he believes, even if he goes to an NFL team, he's not going to have full control of all of the personnel moves. That's what he wants. And a lot of people believe that is Jacksonville's best case, is that if he comes here, he has full say in all of the team decisions while he's the coach. frankly, I think that's too much. You're talking about 2 80-hour-a-week jobs.
Yeah.
You've got to have a relationship where you can trust one another. And I think it's too much, especially for a 72-year-old man.
And because we saw that even when he was a little younger, he was terrible at that.
Bad drafter.
Like the last, 10, 15 years at the Pats, he was terrible as a general manager. I see both sides. Like, from his point of view, you don't want to get stuck in a situation like, Doug Peterson is in, where you obviously don't get along with the GM. You guys don't see eye to eye on players or draft, whatever it is. But also I see the ownership standpoint, like, dude, you crashed and burned as the GM. Like, we don't want that. Why can't you just come here and coach? So I still think that if I'm Shad, I give him full reign. I don't care. I know a lot of Jags fans on Twitter. Jags fans on Twitter are like adamant that Bill Belichick will be a terrible hire. I don't know, man. To me, at least, you'd get a little bit of respect around the league. I don't think he'll win you a Super Bowl or anything, but maybe you just won't be the laughing stock of everyone.
Right now, there's a tremendous amount of internal animosity inside the brain of every Jaguar fan. Okay, for starters, they don't know whether or not to root for this team to win or lose. That's hard enough on them. But if you take the opinion that Bill Belichick would be bad for this organization, you need to check yourself. What is realistic is this. It's not a long-term situation. It's probably a 2 to 3 year deal where you hope there's a coordinator, there's someone under him who becomes the next man up. Obviously not named Josh McDaniels, because that hasn't worked in 2 stops. Okay? Is it Steve Belichick? I don't know. Is it one of his position coaches? I don't know that either. But you talk about enormous respect that comes in right out of the gate. If it's not Steve Belichick, it's Matt Patricia running your defense. It's Josh McDaniels running your offense. Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels working with Trevor Lawrence. I like the chances around here. Is it the way that I would go? Not if you believe you can get the best offensive mind in football. Who is that?
Ben Johnson.
Is it Ben Johnson? All right. Does he come here? Does he bring Mark Brunell with him? I've heard it all. Okay. Sounds good. We don't know if he's a good head coach. Is it Joe Brady? All right. My example with Joe Brady is always this. Look at where he is now in Buffalo. All right. Josh Allen threw 6 touchdown passes yesterday. 3 years ago, Brian Daboll was the hot commodity. He was the brilliant offensive coordinator who learned under Belichick, who learned under Saban. Now he's fighting for his job in New York with the Giants, where they've lost 8 in a row. If I was to say to you, Brian Daboll, you'd drive off the road right now. That's how quickly things change. We don't know about offensive coordinators who have never been head coaches before. We don't. We don't know the answer. And there's 5 or, is it Cliff Kingsbury? Last 2 stops, he was fired, right? Fired at Texas Tech. Fired at Arizona. Where'd he go? USC? Where's he right now, as a matter of fact?
He's in Washington. He's Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
OC.
All right, there you go. I mean, there's a guy with previous experience. Not winning experience in the NFL, but still previous experience. This is a hard deal here. I mean, we're all set on our opinion, which I love, and you should be set on your opinion. But the bottom line is we don't know. And the track record isn't good. When you look at head coach hires and general manager hires in the Shad Khan era, it's not good. You had the miracle of 2017. And you had the great come from behind second half of the season in 2021. Outside of that, this has been a bottom of the barrel football organization. So, I mean, and I know you're out there because I hear from you. that Bill Belichick doesn't do it for you? I mean, you're talking about arguably the greatest coach ever. I just don't get it. I don't. Selfishly, I'd love to have Belichick here because it would be so fun to cover him. Just imagine, I was going to use the word excitement. He provides no excitement, but it would be great to cover Bill Belichick.
The theater of it all.
I just think it would be spectacular. I mean, just think about how serious this organization would be again. And some of the simple mistakes and things that this team does that just makes you say, what are they? That would be eliminated. So anyway, if you're in that boat, no. Now, if I really think what's best, it is the young offensive mind. But as I just went through, there's no guarantee at all that stuff is going to work out. It just, I mean, we need to take a break here. I can't even think of his name right now. The Colorado running back. Look at him, Eric Bieniemy.
Just got canned from UCLA.
Look at this. Forever we were talking about Eric Bieniemy. Remember Mina Kimes and everyone saying it was racist that he wasn't getting a job. He finally got an opportunity in D.C. in this past year at UCLA to call plays. He got fired at both stops.
After 1 year.
I mean, he was one and done at both stops. Eric Bieniemy was on everyone's short list as an offensive guy who had never been a head coach. Still hasn't been a head coach, but he finally got full autonomy of running offenses, and he failed in college. He failed in the NFL. You just don't know with these offensive guys when it comes to becoming a head coach.
The game where every yard counts. One player's performance stands out. That's what you want from a leader. Universal Roofing Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game. Touchdown, what a throw! On 1010XL.
Help fight skin cancer by playing golf at the Hit 'em Straight Golf Tournament December 30th at Queens Harbor for a day of food and fun while raising money for the Melanoma Research Foundation. To sign up, call 904-507-1401.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Joe C. for CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. There's nothing like the ambiance of a custom-built fireplace. The team at CSS can design and install the perfect setup, including wood, gas, and electric models, whether you want the elegance of an indoor fireplace or the warmth of an outdoor fire pit. You dream it, they build it. Visit their showroom or online at cssfireplaces.com.
You dream it, we build it. CSS.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 9, 2018, NFL quarterback Tom Brady breaks Peyton Manning's record for most touchdown passes in NFL history, recording 582.
Hey, sports fans, Gibby here, and we are back to Monday Night Football tonight after another profitable betting weekend on MyBookie. If you didn't hit, well, you have the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Dallas as 5.5-point favorites on Monday Night Football. We'll take that spread all day as the Bengals are actually good, and they are in a must-win scenario to stay in the playoff hunt. A high point total in this one with a 49.5-point over-under. Take a hard look at a parlay bet with the Bengals covering the 5.5 points and the under 49.5. Guys, MyBookie has the best sign-up bonus in the industry for Florida bettors. Our listeners can just sign up and use the promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit up to $1,000. That's promo code 1010XL to claim your double deposit bonus from Monday Night Football. Bet anywhere, anytime, and make your season a winning season with MyBookie.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Bank in the 2024 Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards, and it's easy to see why. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the new Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Atlantic Self Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
This is Hayes Carline for Skylife Elite. Explore the exclusive benefits of aircraft ownership. Partner with Northeast Florida's Elite Air Charter to unlock new revenue opportunities by putting your aircraft on charter, reducing your operating costs while enjoying full service management and exclusive perks. Whether you're a current owner or considering ownership, Skylife Elite provides a seamless, personalized experience that lets your investment soar. Call Skylife Elite at 904-403-2878 to discover more about this rewarding opportunity.
There's no way to prepare for the impact an accident makes on your life. That's why we've spent 40 years getting ready for that moment when you need compassion and immediate action. The right doctors, investigators, our team of experienced attorneys, and your free consultation is already in place. So if you've been hurt, remember, the Farah Safety Net is right here to catch you. All you have to do is call Farah and Farah. It's what we built. Jacksonville.
This season, check out our revamped website at southernsteerbutcher.com. Click on the Promotions tab and our Jacksonville weekly grilling specials will hit you in the face like a hot route over the middle.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about being a peacemaker. Friends, so often we can only want to help people who are in our inner circle. But God never had inner circles. The world was his inner circle, and he's depending on us to make a difference and to leave our mark in this life. So go out today receiving his peace and then sharing it with the world.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, let's get to some of your comments. 0956 says, why don't we just stick it out with Peterson? Look at the franchises that stick with their coaches through thick and thin. Steelers, Ravens, Seahawks, Chiefs. All coaches there, multiple years have won Super Bowls. The teams that change every other year still haven't won one. It's a very fair point, but it's different. Doug Peterson lost the team. Doug Peterson has been involved in some really bad communication. Okay, he is apparently at odds with Trevor Lawrence, a man whose $55 million a year contract hasn't even come into play yet. He does not see eye to eye with Trent Baalke. It's a broken. He's lost his voice. I understand your point. It's a good question, but it's no.
Also,
that question.
He says that they stick around through thick and thin. I would argue that those teams haven't ever gone through this thin under the head coaches you're talking about. Like I don't remember the 2-10 Andy Reid led Chiefs team or Mike Tomlin at 2-10. Like
Who's
this
never
is
had
bad.
a losing season. Mike Tomlin.
Exactly.
7509. JJ, you just literally said Bill's a bad drafter, so why should we give a blank and put him in full control? It's a very valid point. Okay. If he comes here, is it with the guarantee that he has full say over personnel? Remember, when it comes to the draft, let's also put this in there, and I know you remember this. It's not like Bill Belichick had a top 5 pick every year. Bill Belichick was drafting 30, 31st, 32nd almost every single year, and that carries over in the second, third. I'm not a Belichick apologist. He did miss late, but there was also a time early on where, you can look at quite a few players, Chandler Davis, some offensive linemen, whatever, where they couldn't afford to re-sign him, and he'd trade him some first-round picks. But, yeah, recently it has not been good at all as far as drafting.
Sorry, Jags fan, I didn't realize your drafts have been so phenomenal.
7102, lost in a Roman wilderness of pain. And are you dropping the end on us here? Lost in a Roman wilderness of pain.
What song?
And all the Jaguars' children are insane. It's the end. Remember the
By the Doors
when Martin Sheen goes down
of course
to kill Marlon Brando. He's insane, sir. Absolutely. He's gone totally insane. And they play the end.
Very creepy song.
It's
very creepy scene.
It's my favorite Doors song. And all the stories about Jim Morrison, and he really, when he was at the Whiskey A Go-Go, did he really say, Dad, I want to kill you, Mom, I want to, depending on who you listen to. But forget about it. We had Robbie Krieger on a couple of years ago.
We did.
And that was this is the one song they do not play. It's probably a 10 or 11-minute song.
Yeah, 11 minutes and 43 seconds.
But it's outstanding. And the 7102 says that Jaguar fans are going completely insane because of this year. 4042.
This is the end.
Hey, Rick, how do you think Bill will do with the Tar Heels job? I think he'll do very average. You can't win there. You just can't. It's like South Carolina. And right now, Shane Beamer's the second coming, right? It's like Lane Kiffin. There's just certain jobs where you're never going to win. And, I'm talking about championships. I'm talking about Atlantic Coast Conference championships. That's what you play for. That's the honor. Winning the ACC.
Now, what if...
Kidding.
I get your point.
Winning a national title. Yeah, good.
But what if, North Carolina has money now?
Yeah.
So what if all these boosters or backers, NIL people were like, we have Belichick now, so let's become one of those. Let's dump all the money we possibly can in the next couple of years into this thing. Let's get all the NIL talent we can. And then you don't really have to worry about recruiting at a high level with Bill Belichick. You could just bring in these 23-year-old guys that are at other schools, pay them a boatload of money, get the best quarterback on the market. Like, hey, you're going to go play with the greatest coach that's ever lived. I could see them turning it around and getting into the playoff if they have Belichick and throw a bunch of money and get a quarterback. The problem with UNC has always been they never play defense.
That's it.
So Belichick is the defensive guy. So I would love to see it.
He's got to get 11 Lawrence Taylors. That's what he's got to get. Yeah. Carl Torbush is not walking through that front door. We'll see. Ballou, bring Tom Coughlin back with a player like MJD Fred to be under him. The fans forgave him by now. Yeah, but and I saw Tom in here last week during the J Fund. I don't believe he is on the same page with Shad Khan. Shad Khan was noticeably absent when they retired his number, which I found mysterious. Your owner wasn't down there. And so I don't know if there's bad blood. I don't know what happened. And Coughlin upset a lot of people. Tom Coughlin is as much respect that I have for Tom Coughlin. He was always about doing things the right way, not cutting corners. Yet it's he who got caught cheating. Right? He broke the rules by trying to force those players to come in and work while they were injured, which was not a part of the collective bargaining agreement. Everyone has to adapt. It must be tough for a guy like Coughlin. It must be tough for a guy like Belichick. I mean, those are old school, I'm the boss, you're not, and things are changing right in front of our eyes.
Also, how much, I don't know, that's why I'm asking, but how much football is Tom Coughlin still watching?
Man.
How connected to the league is he still? When you bring up Baselli, he does a national broadcast, or at least he used to, for Thursday Night Radio. He does, obviously, the Jags games. He's on the road watching the NFL every single weekend. He is still connected to the league. He sees these guys. He knows, he has a good opinion on what would be a good hire, what wouldn't be. I don't know if Coughlin is still, tapped into the league like that anymore. I don't know if he would want to do that.
No, I don't think he would either. A lot has changed for Tom. I with the loss of his wife and getting back into the daily grind. I just don't know. I honestly don't. 0135 Blue, can't wait for Shaw to be at the NFL owners meeting where Boss Hogg and it yada 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 hat tells him sure as damn and you keep losing my fans or yeah, okay, you're just having some fun there with him. 9247 Rick, we need the Grinch to come on down from the Teal Mountain and shake up the Ville. Yeah, well, I don't know if it's going to get shaken up.
Is the Grinch Bill Belichick?
That doesn't appear here that he is. I think he's just talking about the Grinch in general. 2389 Rick, you're exactly correct. Honestly, the problem here is that the GM has way too much control. It's not that the GM shouldn't have control, but we have a GM. He's the one pulling the strings, a puppet master. Every time we go into the draft, the season starts, the kid opens it. Yeah, well, Chicago's going to go through this now. They're keeping Ryan Poles. Unless you have a true star, okay, in your front office, I think when you rebuild, you should rebuild as one. And this organization has not done that. It was it was Gene Smith and Mike Mularkey, and then it was, Dave Caldwell and Gus Bradley, and Dave Caldwell and Doug Marrone. Then they're out, and it's the promoting of Trent Baalke, and it becomes Urban Meyer. Then it becomes Trent Baalke sticking around, and it becomes Doug Peterson. And, right now, my guess, there's so much defense for Baalke, whether you want to admit it or not. I'm under the belief right now that Urban Meyer and Doug Peterson, neither one of those two were Urban Meyer's guy.
You mean Baalke?
I mean Baalke's guy. That's my guess. That is my... Now, I don't know that. Now, I've had plenty of conversations, but I don't know. Nothing is fact. We can assume whatever we want. Remember forever we thought that Jalen wanting out was because of Coughlin? And we didn't find out until years later when he did a podcast and he said it was because it was Dave Caldwell. So we can have our opinions, and they can be sourced opinions, talking with people that are really close to it. But we don't know. There's a lot of there's a lot of worry here.
That would be a huge argument in his favor.
There's
the
no
defense
doubt.
attorney be like, yeah, of course things are screwed up, Shad. You hired a guy I told you not to.
There's no doubt. That's the biggest worry. What if Trent Baalke sits there with Shad Khan and says, I told you Urban wasn't the guy. I told you Doug Peterson wasn't the guy.
Let me make this hire.
Okay? Let me hire this coach. Look at the young talent. We just went through it last hour. I know that we all want to pile on Baalke, myself included, okay? I don't think that he should still run this football team. But some of the picks that he's made as of late are beginning to produce. Brian Thomas Jr. was a really good pick, a late pick. He traded back. They didn't get anything out of Mason Smith. Wow. All of a sudden, you look at Jarian Jones. Anton Harrison, still waiting on his best football. You know, Walker is produced. You look at a guy like Ventrell Miller now. Tank Bigsby. Brenton Strange has gotten better. Parker Washington was a decent late. Right. All of a sudden, you know, he's still the guy that got Trevor Lawrence. So you can make a case for him. You really can. And I'm absolutely under the impression that he is doing whatever he can to make that case. That's why I'm going to stay with this. I think he survives it. I think he's around in 2025. Again, I hope I'm wrong, but I really believe that's going to be the case.
Even the best teams can lose steam when their best players end up on the sidelines.
In case you haven't noticed, our receiver corps is decimated.
Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah Injury Update.
Jacksonville. It's part of the game, though, you know?
On 1010XL.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
These are interesting economic times. That's why it's so important to have someone you can count on. That's ITP Partners. Jacksonville folks taking care of our Jacksonville money. Experience? You best believe you want to give your hard-earned money to folks you trust. Jeff Hartman, Chris Bryan, Dan Abel, Reed Wingate, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reagan Wright have the expertise and knowledge to help clients in their financial lives, focusing on investment management, financial planning, and risk management. ITP Partners. Financial partners for life. Securities offered through American Portfolios Financial Services Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Protect your home with Tyson Sound and Security. Denny Thompson here. Porch Pirates are on the prowl. But with their smart doorbell camera, you'll see who's at your door whether you're home or not. Tyson's smart doorbell camera gives you peace of mind detecting people and packages, keeping your family and belongings safe all season long. Call Tyson Sound and Security today for holiday savings on cameras and home security systems. Enjoy a worry-free holiday with Tyson Sound and Security.
I'm Chris Campione. In a world of big box law firms with satellite offices, there's something special about having a local legal team that cares about you and your community. We're not just lawyers, we're your neighbors. We understand the unique challenges facing the Jacksonville community because we live here too. At Campione Law, Campione Cares isn't just a tagline, it's our commitment to you. Campione Law, your trusted lawyers after an accident. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione Law.
Ride the hurricane wave as the storm brews in South Beach.
Keeping you closer to the U with news and notes from the Orange and Green on the Hurricane Report on 1010XL.
Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Imagine a place where the sun is always shining, the drinks are ice cold, and the food is bursting with flavor. Welcome to Hurricane Grill and Wings, where locals and visitors alike gather to weather this storm we call life. And you can escape here anytime you like. Today's forecast, hot, crispy wings with a 100% chance of frothy beers. Later, we're predicting big burgers and seafood tacos moving in. Escape the ordinary. HurricaneWings.com.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 47th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget and with interest interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, open 7 days a week in December.
Come on, admit it. Almost everyone you know seems to be playing pickleball now, right? So whether you just want to learn how to play or you're ready to show off your elite pickleball skills, the Y is the place for you. Visit our brand new McGuire Family Pickleball Center at the Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach. 5 top quality outdoor courts and 3 amazing indoor courts where you can learn about dinks, dill ball, falafel, the kitchen, and more pickleball slang at the Y.
Jeff Lagerman here. Now that football season is here, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any of the 27 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions, and more. Napa Auto Care offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace of mind warranty on most repairs. Find a Napa Auto Care Center near you. JacksNapaAutoCareGroup.com.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Andersen, energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Right now, buy one window or patio door and get one 40% off. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. The first 50 customers get a free True Screen upgrade, but this offer expires December 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, Heisman Trophy finalists have been announced. Dylan Gabriel, Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, and Cam Ward. So 2 quarterbacks, one guy who does it all, and an opportunity there for Genty to break the all-time season rushing mark. Of course, they will receive a bye in the first round of the college football playoffs. Let's wrap with that. If you have not heard, they're actually pretty one-sided first-round games. If you look at the point spread, it'll be Friday night, December 20th, which is right around the corner, okay? Indiana at Notre Dame in South Bend. Notre Dame favored by 7.5. That's at 8 o'clock on Friday night. Saturday at high noon, SMU on the campus of Penn State. Penn State favored by 9. James Franklin 0-12 against top 5 teams. I think the committee got it right with SMU. They deserve to go in this year over Alabama. At 4 o'clock, Clemson at Texas. That is in Austin. Texas favored by 11 points. Of course, Clemson is in with 3 losses. And Tennessee at Ohio State, 8 o'clock at night. 7.5 points. Ohio State is favored. So 3 of these 4 games, it's going to be really cold. South Bend, Indiana, Happy Valley, Pennsylvania, Columbus, Ohio. I don't know what the situation will be like in Austin, Texas. I got to imagine it will be chilly, but not nearly as cold as those other 3.
SMU got pretty lucky with a noon kickoff.
Yeah.
I mean, I just assume that place probably would be snowing or absolutely atrociously cold.
Right.
8 o'clock kickoff. The Tennessee, Ohio, I like all those games, but the Tennessee, Ohio State for me, clearly the most interesting. I think that's why they had it at 8 o'clock.
Also on that Friday, December 20th, Tulane and Florida will play at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. I know that the Gator Bowl committee and everyone around here was really hoping that they would get the University of Florida. That is not going to be the case. Instead, it's Mississippi and Duke. And as you pointed out a little bit earlier, the Miami Hurricanes are going to play in what? The Pop-Tart.
The Pop-Tart Bowl, baby.
Against
one of the
Iowa
most
State.
prestigious bowls in America.
That's one of the tightest bowl games. It's around a field goal. Miami and Iowa State.
Miami's a 1.5-point favorite.
There you go. That'll be 3:30 on ABC on Saturday, December 28th. Folks, I didn't have a chance to get to all of you tonight on the text line. We just got way too many. I always do appreciate it. Back with you tomorrow night, 6 to 8. Remember, 7 o'clock hour, we're going to grab your phone calls on Tuesday. Hacker Nation is up right now for JJ LaSelva. Have a great night. My name is Rick Ballou.